I need to tell you something about Olivia. My sister Hannah's voice was serious, concerned. She was talking to my fiancé, David, in our kitchen. I just walked in from the bedroom. David looked up at me, then back at Hannah. What about her? She's been cheating on you. I saw her, last weekend, at that conference in Boston. She was with another man, at a hotel. I'm so sorry, David, but you deserve to know the truth. My blood turned to ice. What? Hannah, that's not true. My mother stepped out from behind Hannah, her face grave. I'm afraid it is true, David. Hannah told me what she saw. I confronted Olivia about it yesterday. She admitted everything. Mom, I never admitted anything because I didn't do anything. David stood up, his face pale. Is this real? Did you cheat on me? That was April 2018. My sister lied. My mother confirmed it. My fiancé believed them. He broke off our engagement that night. I lost everything. My relationship, my family, my life as I knew it. 6 years later, Hannah showed up at my door, sobbing, holding a thick folder. Olivia, I need to tell you the truth. About that day, about Mom, about the money. I hired a private investigator to find out what really happened. This report, it shows everything. What Mom paid me to do, how she orchestrated the whole thing, why she wanted to destroy your relationship. What that investigator uncovered shattered every assumption I'd ever made about my family. And what I learned about my mother's true motives? I never saw it coming. If you've ever been betrayed by the people who were supposed to protect you, stay with me until the end. Your support means everything to me. Hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Has anyone ever lied about you to destroy your relationship? Let's talk about it. Now back to my story. Let me take you back. April 2018. My name is Olivia Bennett. I was 29 years old, living in Philadelphia, working as a project manager for a pharmaceutical company, making $78,000 a year. I was engaged to David Richardson. We'd been together for 4 years. He was a software engineer, kind, supportive. We were planning our wedding for October, already had the venue booked, invitations ordered. Everything was perfect. My family lived an hour away in suburban Pennsylvania. My parents, Robert and Catherine Bennett. My younger sister Hannah was 26. She still lived at home, worked part-time at a boutique, struggled to find direction in life. Hannah and I had always had a complicated relationship. She was the baby, the one who got more attention, more chances, more forgiveness. I was the responsible one, the achiever, the one who was expected to have it all figured out. But we were still sisters, still family, or so I thought. That April, I went to a pharmaceutical conference in Boston. 3 days, networking, presentations, industry meetings, standard work trip. David couldn't come because he had a major project deadline. The conference went well. I attended sessions, met colleagues, had dinners with my team. Nothing unusual, nothing inappropriate. I came home on Sunday evening, excited to see David, to tell him about the conference, to continue wedding planning. When I walked into our apartment, something felt wrong. David was sitting on the couch, stiff, his face unreadable. Hey, babe, I missed you. I went to kiss him. He pulled away. We need to talk. My stomach dropped. What's wrong? Your sister called me today. She said she needs to tell me something important. She's on her way over, with your mom. Hannah? Why would she? The doorbell rang. David answered it. Hannah and my mother walked in. Both looked serious, somber. What's going on? I asked. Hannah looked at David. I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this, but Olivia was cheating on you in Boston. The room tilted. What? No. Hannah, what are you talking about? I saw you, at the Marriott, Friday night. You were with a man, in the hotel bar. You were laughing, touching his arm. Then you both got in the elevator together. I followed you, saw which floor you went to. I waited in the lobby for an hour. You didn't come back down. Hannah, I don't know what you think you saw, but I was never with anyone. Stop lying. Her voice cracked with what seemed like genuine emotion. I saw you, Olivia. I was in Boston visiting a friend. I decided to surprise you at your hotel. And instead, I saw you cheating." David looked at me. "Is this true?" "No, David, I swear. I was at the conference, in sessions during the day, had team dinners at night. I was never with anyone else." My mother spoke up. "Olivia, Hannah called me Friday night, devastated by what she saw. I told her to take photos. She did. She has evidence." "Evidence? What evidence?" Hannah pulled out her phone, showed David a photo, blurry, taken from a distance. It showed a woman with long dark hair in a hotel bar, sitting with a man. I couldn't see the woman's face clearly. "That could be anyone," I started. "It's you," Hannah said firmly. "I was there. I saw you. That's your blue dress, the one you bought for the conference." I did have a blue dress. I'd worn it Friday night to a networking dinner with my team, but I'd never been with any man alone. "Hannah, I was at a team dinner with 6 colleagues. We were at the hotel restaurant, yes, but it was a group, not just me and some man." "Then why did you go upstairs with him?" "I didn't. I went to my room alone around 10 p.m., after dinner." My mother shook her head, disappointed. "Olivia, I confronted you about this yesterday. On the phone. You admitted it." My jaw dropped. "What?" "Mom, we talked yesterday, but you asked me about the conference, about how it went. I never admitted to anything because there's nothing to admit. You said, and I quote, 'Mom, it was just one night. It didn't mean anything.' Those were your exact words." I tried to remember the conversation. Then it clicked. "I was talking about the hotel bed being uncomfortable. You asked how I slept. I said, 'It was just one night. It didn't mean anything because I was home now.' I was talking about the bad mattress." "Don't twist your words now." David stood up, his voice quiet, broken. "Did you cheat on me, Olivia? Yes or no?" "No, David, I swear on everything, I did not cheat. I don't know what Hannah thinks she saw, but it wasn't me with another man, and Mom completely misunderstood what I said on the phone." He looked at Hannah. "You're sure it was her?" "Positive." "I'm so sorry, David. I know this hurts, but you deserve the truth." He looked at my mother. "And you believe Hannah?" "I believe what my daughter told me, and I believe Olivia's suspicious reaction when I asked about it. She got defensive, evasive. That's not the behavior of someone with nothing to hide." David looked at me one more time. "I want to believe you, Olivia, but your own sister and mother are saying you cheated. Why would they lie?" "I don't know. But I'm telling you the truth. I didn't cheat. I would never cheat. You have to believe me." He shook his head slowly. "I don't know what to believe anymore." Over the next week, things deteriorated fast. David wouldn't talk to me properly, wouldn't look at me the same way. Hannah's accusation and Mom's confirmation had planted a seed of doubt he couldn't shake. I begged him to call my team members, to verify I'd been at team dinners, but he said that didn't prove anything about what happened after. I offered to take a polygraph test. He said those weren't reliable. I showed him my phone records, no suspicious calls or texts. He said I could have deleted them. Nothing I did was enough. The trust was broken. 10 days after the accusation, David sat me down. "I can't do this, Olivia. I can't marry someone I don't fully trust." "David, please. I didn't cheat. I swear on my life. Your own family says you did. Why would your sister lie? Why would your mother back her up? It doesn't make sense unless it's true." "I don't know why they're doing this, but I know I'm telling the truth." "I want to believe you, but I can't get past this. Every time I look at you, I wonder if you're lying to me. That's no way to start a marriage." "So you're choosing to believe them over me?" "I'm choosing to protect myself from more pain." He handed me back the engagement ring. "I'm sorry, Olivia. I really am. But we're done." I moved out that week, stayed with a friend, then found my own apartment. Small, lonely, but mine. I tried to talk to my mother, to understand why she'd confirmed Hannah's lie. "Mom, why did you do this? Why did you tell David I admitted to cheating?" "Because Hannah saw what she saw, and you were acting guilty." I wasn't acting guilty. I was confused. You completely misinterpreted our conversation. Or you're rewriting history to save yourself. Either way, Olivia, you need to take responsibility for your actions. What actions? I didn't do anything. Keep telling yourself that. I called Hannah. Why did you lie? Why did you destroy my relationship? I didn't lie. I saw what I saw. Then you saw wrong, or you're deliberately hurting me. Which is it? She hung up on me. I was completely alone. My fiancé was gone. My family had turned against me. Friends who knew both David and me started taking sides. Many believed him. After all, why would family lie? The first year was devastating. I grieved the loss of David, the loss of my family, the loss of the life I'd planned, the wedding that would never happen. I threw myself into work, took on more projects, worked longer hours, got promoted to senior project manager. Salary jumped to $95,000. Year 2, I started therapy, began processing the betrayal, started understanding that I couldn't force people to believe me. All I could do was live my truth. Year 3, I changed jobs, moved to a biotech startup. They offered me $110,000 plus equity. Associate director position, new challenges, new people who didn't know my history. Year 4, I started dating again. Cautiously. It was hard to trust, hard to open up. But I met someone, Marcus, a physician, understanding, patient. He believed me when I told him what happened with David. Year 5, the startup went public. My equity became valuable, real money. I bought a condo, started investing, built financial security. Year 6, I was promoted to Director of Project Management. $145,000 salary, managing a team of 8. I'd built a career I was proud of, a life I'd created from scratch after losing everything. Marcus and I got engaged, a small proposal. Private. Perfect. We were planning a small wedding, just close friends, no family drama. I'd made peace with losing my family, with my mother's betrayal and Hannah's lies. I couldn't change what happened, but I could choose how to move forward. Then, 3 weeks ago, my building's front desk called. Ms. Bennett, there's someone here to see you. Says she's your sister, Hannah Bennett. My heart stopped. Tell her I'm not available. She says it's urgent, about your mother. She's crying. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath. Send her up. Hannah knocked on my door. I opened it. She looked terrible, thinner, older than her 32 years, eyes red and swollen. What do you want, Hannah? Please, I need to talk to you. I need to tell you the truth, the real truth. She was holding a thick manila folder. I almost slammed the door, but curiosity won. You have 5 minutes. She came in, looked around my condo. You've done well for yourself. What do you want? She sat down without being invited, opened the folder with shaking hands. 2 months ago, I started therapy for anxiety, depression. The therapist asked me to examine my life choices, times I'd hurt people, times I'd acted out of character. And the lie I told about you kept coming up. In session after session, I kept defending it, saying I'd seen what I'd seen. But my therapist asked questions, made me really think about that night, about what I actually saw versus what I told David. So now you're admitting you lied? I'm admitting I wasn't in Boston. I never saw you with anyone. I made the whole thing up. The room went silent. Why? Because Mom paid me to. My breath caught. What? She pulled out papers from the folder. Bank statements. Mom gave me $15,000. Cash. Handed it to me 3 days before I made the accusation. She told me exactly what to say, gave me a photo she'd found online of a woman in a blue dress at a hotel bar, said to claim it was you. I grabbed the papers, stared at the deposits. 3 $5,000 cash deposits into Hannah's bank account, dated early April 2018, right before the accusation. Mom paid you $15,000 to destroy my engagement? Yes, and I took it, because I was broke, because I was jealous, because I was stupid and weak. Why would Mom do this? Why would she want to destroy my relationship with David? That's what I needed to find out, because it never made sense to me either. So I hired a private investigator, spent the last month digging into everything: Mom's finances, her history, her communications. She pulled out more papers. This is what he found. Hannah handed me a private investigator's report, 30 pages, detailed, thorough. "Read page 7, she said quietly. I flipped to page 7. It was a financial analysis of my mother's accounts from 2017 to 2018. Summary of findings: Catherine Bennett withdrew $50,000 from a joint investment account in March 2018. She placed this money in a separate account under her name only. She made 3 payments to Hannah Bennett, totaling $15,000. She made 2 payments to a Dr. Richard Chambers, totaling $8,000. The remaining $27,000 was transferred to an LLC called CB Ventures." "Who is Dr. Richard Chambers?" I asked. "That's on page 12. I flipped ahead. Page 12 had photos, screenshots of text messages, email threads. Dr. Richard Chambers was a divorced psychiatrist in his early 60s. My mother had been having an affair with him since 2016. Mom was cheating on Dad? For 2 years, the investigator found hotel receipts, dinner charges, weekend trips, all paid for by Mom from that separate account. What does this have to do with me and David?" Page 15. I kept reading. Page 15 detailed something I'd never known. David's family was wealthy, very wealthy. His father owned a successful real estate development company. David stood to inherit approximately $8 million when his parents passed away. I'd known David's family had money, but he was modest about it, didn't flaunt it. I'd never really thought about his future inheritance. "Mom knew about David's family money?" I asked. She did extensive research. The investigator found Google searches on her laptop, searches for David Richardson net worth, Richardson Development Company value, Pennsylvania inheritance laws. She was obsessed. But why would she care about David's money? She wanted me to marry him. We were already engaged. That's the part that made me sick. Hannah's voice broke. Keep reading. Page 18. Page 18 had more financial records. The LLC, CB Ventures, had a business plan, a real estate investment scheme. It required significant capital investment, $500,000 to start. The business plan was dated February 2018, 2 months before the accusation. It was co-signed by Catherine Bennett and Dr. Richard Chambers. My stomach churned. She was planning to start a business with her affair partner? Yes, but she didn't have $500,000. She had maybe $100,000 in her separate account. She needed more money. So? Page 20. I flipped ahead with trembling hands. Page 20 had the investigator's conclusion. Theory of motive. Catherine Bennett planned to leave her husband Robert. She was having an affair and wanted to start a new life with Dr. Chambers. However, she needed capital for their business venture. Her daughter Olivia was engaged to David Richardson, heir to a significant fortune. If Catherine could maintain a close relationship with Olivia after the marriage, she could potentially access David's family wealth through her daughter. However, Olivia was becoming independent. Moving forward with her own life, Catherine needed leverage, control. Alternative scenario. Catherine discovered if Olivia's engagement was broken due to infidelity, Olivia would be devastated, vulnerable, potentially more dependent on family, more likely to move back home. Catherine could then support her daughter through the heartbreak while simultaneously pursuing David Richardson herself. Evidence: text messages between Catherine Bennett and Dr. Chambers dated April 2018, discussing the plan working perfectly, and David is now available, and he's vulnerable and wealthy. Perfect combination. I stopped reading. Felt sick. Mom wanted to break up my engagement so she could go after David herself? That's what the investigator believes, and I think he's right. Because 6 months after you and David broke up, guess who started showing up at his gym? Who randomly ran into him at the grocery store? Who sent him a sympathy card about your betrayal? Mom? Mom. The investigator has photos, security footage. She was stalking him, trying to position herself as a sympathetic maternal figure. someone who understood his pain because her own daughter had betrayed him. I stood up, paced my condo. 6 years. 6 years of believing my mother and sister had destroyed my relationship out of misguided family loyalty or simple cruelty. But the truth was worse. So much worse. Did it work? Did Mom ever get close to David? No. He moved to California about 8 months after your breakup, got transferred for work. Mom couldn't pursue him anymore. What about her business with Dr. Chambers? Failed. CB Ventures never got off the ground. They didn't have enough capital. Dr. Chambers backed out. The affair ended. Mom stayed with Dad. Pretended nothing happened. Does Dad know any of this? No. That's why I'm here. I need to know what you want to do. This investigator's report has everything. Evidence of the affair. Evidence of the payment to me. Evidence of Mom's plan. We can show Dad. We can press charges for fraud or conspiracy. We can do whatever you think is right. I looked at Hannah, really looked at her. Why now? Why tell me after 6 years? Because I can't live with it anymore. Because therapy made me realize how badly I'd hurt you. Because you deserved better than what I did. And because Mom doesn't deserve to get away with destroying your life for her own selfish reasons. You took the money. You told the lies. You're just as guilty. I know, and I'll face whatever consequences you decide. If you want to press charges against me too, I understand. I'll cooperate fully. I'll testify to everything. I just need you to know the truth. Have you confronted Mom? Not yet. I wanted you to see the evidence first. Wanted you to decide how to handle it. I sat down, stared at the investigator's report. 30 pages that explained 6 years of pain, 6 years of wondering what I'd done wrong, 6 years of carrying undeserved shame. Here's what we're doing, I said finally. We're going to Dad, together, showing him everything. He deserves to know the truth about his wife. Okay. Then we're going to Mom. And she's going to admit what she did. Not just to us, to everyone, David included. Do you think he'll believe it after all this time? I don't care if he believes it. I'm engaged to someone else now, someone who actually trusts me. But David deserves to know he destroyed a relationship based on lies. What about me? What do you want from me? I looked at my sister. I want you to understand that taking money to destroy someone's life makes you complicit, not just a victim of Mom's manipulation. You made a choice. I know. I don't forgive you. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But I appreciate you finally telling the truth, even if it took you 6 years. We went to my father's office the next day, showed him everything, the bank statements, the affair evidence, the investigator's report, the text messages about David. He sat there, silent, processing. Then he looked at Hannah. You took money to lie about your sister? Yes. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. He looked at the affair evidence, at Mom's texts with Dr. Chambers. His hands were shaking. How long has she been lying to me? At least 6 years that we know of, I said quietly. I'm filing for divorce. Today. This is unforgivable. We went to confront Mom that evening, all 3 of us. She opened the door, saw us together, and her face went pale. We know everything, I said, held up the investigator's report. The affair, the money, the plan to destroy my engagement so you could pursue David yourself. All of it. She tried to deny it, but Dad threw the evidence at her feet. I'm divorcing you, Catherine. My lawyer will be in touch. Mom looked at me with something like desperation. Olivia, please, it wasn't like that. I can explain. You paid my sister to lie about me cheating. You destroyed my engagement because you wanted David for yourself. There's no explanation that makes that okay. I never actually pursued David because he moved away. Not because you had any moral problem with it. You stalked him for months. She had no response to that. I left copies of the investigator's report with both my parents, told them I'd be sending a summary to extended family. They deserved to know the truth about why I'd been estranged for 6 years. I also sent a copy to David's last known address in California. with a note. This is what really happened in April 2018. Not asking for anything, just wanted you to know the truth. Olivia. He never responded. But 2 weeks later, I got a message through LinkedIn from his sister. Thank you for sending that report. David feels terrible about what happened. He wants you to know he's sorry for not believing you. It was enough. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, just acknowledgement. The truth was out. My father and mother are divorcing. Hannah is in intensive therapy and paying back the $15,000 with interest. I've decided not to press charges against her. She was young and manipulated, but she's facing consequences anyway. My mother? She's lost everything. Her marriage, her daughters, her reputation. Extended family has cut her off. I'm planning my wedding to Marcus. Small ceremony next spring. My father will walk me down the aisle. Hannah is not invited. Maybe someday, but not now. I'm Olivia Bennett. I'm 35 years old. 6 years ago, my sister told my fiancé I cheated. My mother confirmed the lie. Because my mother wanted to destroy my engagement and pursue my fiancé herself. A private investigator's report exposed everything: the affair, the money, the plan, the devastating calculation behind it all. My name is cleared. The truth is known. Justice is being served. Some betrayals are so deep, they change you forever. But they don't have to destroy you. You can rebuild. You can find new love. You can create a better life. And when the truth finally comes out, you'll be standing strong. Ready to face it. Ready to move forward. Trust yourself, even when everyone else doubts you. Especially then. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support truly means the world to me. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. I love reading every single one of them. Each comment inspires me to keep creating stories for you. See you next time.